So happy to be here with you this morning, and thank you so much for coming online with us, whether you're on YouTube or in our Zoom community room. We're really glad to have you here on the first day of a new year. And so Happy New Year, everyone. We are on a year of new adventures for Unity of Fredericksburg, and I thank you all for trusting me with that. I have recently just returned home from a couple of weeks at the beach, and it's always a wonderful time being at the beach, no matter what the weather is. And we certainly had some of the winter weather that all of you all had. With ice and wind and all of that, but still had plenty of time at the ocean. And being next to the ocean is always such a grounding experience. It's so soothing, and it really, for me, reminds me of all of the aspects of our human lives and our divine nature. One of the things that our Unity founders teach us, and in particular, the writer Emily Cady and Myrtle Fillmore, they talk about the threefold nature of humanity. So the threefold nature would be spirit, consciousness, which is, of course, all of our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, attitudes, and the body. So the physical human existence that we have. And in Unity, we embrace all of those. We see all of that as aspects of our reality, since we are 100% human all the time and 100% divine all the time. So when I'm near the ocean, I see all of those aspects kind of expressing in front of me. There are some examples where people talk about as humans, our connection with, or our experience of the universe, or of God, if you like to use that word. And some examples talk about how we are like a drop in the ocean, or we're the ocean in a drop. I don't like to use that analogy because my brain gets a little picky about those things and says, wait a minute, if I'm just a drop, then anybody with a little bucket can walk up there and scoop me out of the ocean, and then I'm separated. And of course, in Unity, we're always talking about oneness and unity. So I prefer thinking of us, and I think this is an example that comes from Eric Butterworth also, as each one of us is like a wave in the ocean. And not just a singular wave, like you did your thing and you're done, but you're that motion that's happening all the time. So you have the totality of the ocean itself, which, and I think we all have to remind ourselves, since most of us spend most of our time on land, that the ocean covers much more of our planet than the land does. So the ocean, as an example of the universe itself, the energy of the universe. And then each one of the waves, each one of us is like a wave. And sometimes your wave is going to be a big crashing wave. And sometimes your wave is just going to be a little surge, a little ripple. But each one of us is an expression within that totality that is the ocean, the universe. And then there's that part where the wave crashes into the shore or eases into the shore. And that, to me, is that connection with the body, with our physical universe. I know when I go to the beach, every day when I go, things are different. Some days that there's, a huge swath of shells, and other times the beach is clean. Things are just changing all the time on the physical landscape of the beach. And that's like our human lives, because things are changing all the time in our human lives. And yet the ocean, its presence, its motion, all of that has that sense of omnipresence, always present, always there, always moving. So being at the beach really kind of connects me with that integration of spirit, mind, and body. And this time of year, we have some wonderful rituals in unity that also help us connect with spirit, mind, and body, and connect with the threefold nature. So we're always looking for practices and activities and rituals that help remind us of our perpetual connection with Source. So one of the basic teachings in unity that folks who have been around in unity for a long time will recognize is the practice of using denials and affirmations. Now, I like to kind of update that language, and I like to add a piece because in the 21st century, I think we know a little bit more about human psychology. I think we know a little bit more about how our brains work. And so I expand it to a 3-step process, just kind of like the threefold nature, like threes, 3-step process. And those steps are: first, acknowledge. So be on the beach of your life. Have your feet in the sand. See what it is that has been showing up in your life and acknowledge it. How has your past year been? Since we're on New Year's Day now, and in just a few moments, we're going to move into the burning bowl ritual. We are looking at what has been the state of your life. Have you experienced joys? Have you experienced grief? What have you accomplished in the past year? It's time for us to really acknowledge everything that's been going on. And then, as we go into the burning bowl ritual, we are practicing release, letting go of things that no longer serve our highest good. And it takes some discernment to get to that point, right? It takes some real reflection and discernment to know what is not serving your highest good, what wants to be let go right now. And always remember that when you let something go, it might be a practice that worked for you for a long time. Let's say you had a certain meditation practice or an exercise practice or a health practice that you've been doing for a long time. And when you started that, it just felt like it was the best thing ever. But you have changed. Your circumstances have changed. Your body has changed. So now it's time to let that go. But don't think of it as letting it go and you'll never see it again, because a few years down the road, you might come back to that practice again. Oh, remember when I used to do yoga in the morning and that was so great. You can always pick it back up again. So don't feel like if your human brain is, tingling with attachments to what you want to let go, like that's valuable. And if I let it go, I can't get it back. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as something that for right now, we're going to release that. And then next week, when we come back together on January the 8th, we will do the white stone ceremony, which is all about setting intentions and using affirmations for the new year. So we are now in this process of acknowledging, releasing, and then next week we'll work on affirming. So I'd like for all of us to together now move into a time of meditation. We'll do a meditation to kind of open up that space of discernment together. And then when the meditation is complete, we will go into the burning bowl ceremony with Reverend Pamela. So I'm going to put up a slide, and so we have something to look at while we're in meditation. I'd like to ask you all to just take a deep breath and just start focusing on the breath as I get this slide going. Focusing on the breath, moving in and out, in and out. Just settle more into your physical space right now. Just give your energy to your lower body and just allow it to relax. Bring your attention to your seat, your lower back. Allow it to relax. Move your energy up and your focus up through your torso, encompassing your shoulders, your chest, your belly, and allow it to relax. Extend your focus down your arms, through all the way to your fingertips. Give them a little wiggle and shake off any stress that might be there. And relax. And move your attention up through the neck and all the way up through the tippy top of your head. Relaxing as you go. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. And just breathe into that. And into this sacred space that we have created here together. Let us recognize and welcome our divine power of understanding. With our power of understanding, we are able to recognize what is often in unity called the Christ consciousness, the expression of all that is at the point of us, at the point of all others. And we welcome into this space of meditation our power of wisdom. This is our capacity to discern what is for our best and highest good for the new year and for the next new moment in our life. Into this space, we also recognize and give energy to our power of elimination, our power of release. As we move into the burning bowl, we connect with all that is and energize our capacity to let go. And as sometimes is said, let God, as in let our divine nature take over, hand over things that our ego has been gripping so strongly, and let it go into divine nature. And finally, before we go into a space of quiet for a few moments, let us give focus to our power of life. Our power of life that emphasizes the capacity for new growth and new beginnings, despite how things might look to our human eyes and ears. That power of life is always present, expressing as wholeness, expressing as healing, expressing as new beginnings. So let's just lean into the stillness together, right here, right now, for a few moments. And let us softly begin to bring our attention back to the current moment. I invite you to sort of stay in a sort of half meditation space, if you will. We will be moving into the burning bowl. There's no need for you to come all the way back to here and now and thinking brain. You can stay right here. And let me bring up our first slide for the burning bowl. There we go. And let me just stop my share so that I can bring Reverend Pamela to the forefront here. All right, it's all yours, Pamela.
Thank you. Happy New Year and welcome everyone to today's annual Burning Bowl ritual. Historically, this ritual is performed by Unity churches either on the night of New Year's Eve or the Sunday closest to New Year's Eve, which would be today. And energetically, we are in a magical time at the end of the year, which leads into the new year, which, lasts for a few weeks here. And during this time, we are in a time where the veil is thin and we have easy access to other realms and dimensions that allows us to open up and receive divine guidance from Creator. So this is our perfect timing right now to surrender and release what no longer serves, as we are still releasing this past year. And as we do that, we will be transforming that into what is to serve our highest and best. You may find after today that this process may need to be repeated more than once, and feel free to do that as much as necessary between now and next week to make sure that you're coming into the white stone with a clean, clear slate and consciousness, or as I like to say, a blank canvas. To prepare for the ritual, if you are a local member of the spiritual community, you received a small rectangle piece of flash paper in your Christmas card from the Board of Trustees. And if you're joining us from somewhere else, or if you are going to be joining us from the replay, you can grab a piece of tissue paper, wrapping tissue paper, or thin writing paper. Thinner the better because it's easier to burn. You'll want to have a lighter or a lit candle and a receptacle in which to place your flash paper in as it burns, although there's going to be very little residual because it goes away instantly. And for those of you that choose to write, you'll want to have a pen with you. But really, I think this is much more magical when you just infuse everything into the paper, and so you bypass getting into the story and just get into what needs to go. And the magical thing about the paper is that even though it's small, it will expand energetically and hold every single little thing that you wish to release. And there's room for everything. And for those of you who are looking for an option where there's no flame, I have a piece of toilet tissue where you can do basically the same thing, and then you would release it into the water. But we are focusing on fire because fire is a powerful element of alchemy. And this is one of the most quick ways to do your release and release back to Creator. I invite you to gather your items now. And if you're on the replay, if you'd like, you may press pause and gather your items. And then when you're ready, you can resume. Because once we get moving into the ritual, we don't want to break that meditative state and flow. And as you are gathering your materials and to prepare, I would also just like to give you some information. If you have never participated in a burning bowl ritual, what to expect and what we're going to be doing. Each one of us will infuse and transfer energy of what needs to be released onto your paper. And I call it a magical trash can. Your energy and intentions can be also whispered into the paper like this, or you can take it to your third eye or into your heart. All of these ways will transfer what needs to be released into the paper, or you can write. And once the ritual is done, you will be saying, "It is done, and so it is, be gone," whatever your celebratory "this is finished" wants to be. I have discovered that, again, using a small piece of paper is more powerful than a big one because it makes things concise and it will hold energetically everything that needs to be released. And this also shows your intention and your seriousness to your ego and to spirit, that you mean business and that you are ready to let it go, to never pick it up again, and that it's ready to be fully surrendered. I'd like to also take a moment to offer an explanation about the background, purpose, and intent of the burning bowl for anyone present who may have never participated. When this ritual is performed with conscious intention, both individually and collectively, the power of the sacred ritual is intensified. Action is taken to energetically surrender and leave behind many things such as behavioral thought patterns, beliefs, emotions, or experiences, old, outdated, negative stories that no longer serve. And it might even be something tangible that you would like to release. And the first step is to release it energetically. It could even be an old relationship that's no longer, you can release the energy of that as well. We come together during this time to release any of the blocks to our spiritual growth. And once these are released, then it creates the opening for our higher best to flow in, divinely inspired and created ideas. But this process has to be done first. The element of fire is used because it is equated with purification, and it is also representative of the process of alchemy. And today we are choosing consciously to burn away the old, to make room for the new, healthier, and positive way of living, and for being, yes, be, in a way that supports our lives in the present. After today's service is over, any remaining debris or ashes left in your bowl do need to be returned to the earth, whether it is taking it outside and releasing it outside or a simple flush through your toilet. Either way, it is returned to source. Final instructions before we begin the ritual. Once you are finished, because we do this at our own pace and speed, please hold and maintain the silence for those who are still in process until everyone has burned their papers, and allow this quiet space of reflection to be a time of sacred listening and an expansion and opening of your subconscious mind, because you will begin creating and receiving insights and messages from God, Source, Creator, Universe, and your guides. I also invite you to feel in your body and be aware of emotions and insights that may come up to you, any signs around you, however Creator, God, Source gives you signs. Be open to reading those, because these are going to continue to flow in for the next couple of weeks, especially between now and when we do the white stone. So, to begin the ritual, I invite you to become aware of your breath. And as you breathe, I invite you to hold on to your papers. And again, you can either place them in your hands and whisper into them, or place them on your heart or your third eye, wherever it is most comfortable, wherever you feel you can best infuse what you wish to release into your paper. In just a moment, we are going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths so that we may become grounded, allowing our thoughts to settle, and your eyes can be either opened or in a soft gaze. We don't want to wander away, and we don't want to go too far away. We want to be very conscious about this. And as you're settling down, I invite you to feel the comfort of the chair, the couch, the bed, the floor supporting you, whatever it is. I want you to feel that holding you as you go into this deeper state of meditation. And on each in-breath, I invite you to feel the weight. Again, feeling that weight holding you as you Continue to relax and surrender to the meditative step. Breath going deeper on each one. On the last exhale that we take, I invite you to grow roots out of your sit bones and the bottoms of your feet and extend them deep into the crystalline core of the earth. And we'll begin breathing now. And as you wrap your roots around the crystalline core deep in the earth, on the in-breath, breathe up the pure white light through your roots and bring it into your heart space. And then continue to breathe normally. With each breath, bring in light from the earth. And with each exhale, send breath back into the earth, sending it to the tree roots, which provide a network of light under the ground so that you are connecting to all and the oneness of Creator, God, Source, Universe, so that there is a continuous looping energy flowing, being exchanged with Mother Earth and your body. And allow that presence of the light to fill each body, each cell in your body. And we meet here today to consciously connect and support each other as we set our intentions to release negative, limiting thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve our highest and best interest. We intentionally clear out and create sacred space that allows Spirit to fill us up with renewed awareness of the truth and God's presence within our lives. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Today I come before you with heart and mind expanded to receive gifts that the new year will bring. The process of releasing begins with forgiveness of all injury, both real and imagined, because when we do not forgive, we keep our hearts constricted or closed, creating separation from God, Source, Creator, Universe, and others. Forgiveness is the concrete and solid foundation upon which love is built upon. We will take a time of quiet now to call into our minds all those persons or incidents in our lives which need forgiveness, including ourselves. And as you recall those persons and situations you are forgiving, allow these words to surround them and you. In the name and through the power and example of Jesus the Christ, I forgive you. I forgive me. I ask for your forgiveness. You may even bring into mind the Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And during this quiet time of meditation, I invite you to write on or energetically infuse into your paper by whispering or placing somewhere on your body, which describes or perhaps and symbolizes in a way meaningful only to you, only the conditions from which you are truly and fully ready to surrender and release. We are almost ready for release. Once you feel that you have infused your paper with all that you wish to release, you may burn your paper and place it in the bowl. I will demonstrate the flash paper for those of you who have not used it. And again, go on your own timing and release when you feel you are ready. I'm going to demonstrate before I say go. And I have wadded up my paper into a little ball. It makes it easier for it to burn. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to touch it to flame, and voila, it's gone. If you are unable to use a live flame, this would be the time for you to tear your paper into as many little pieces as possible and place them in the bowl. And if you're using the toilet paper, this would be the time to release it into the cup of water, and then you can flush it later. So we are now ready to release. And as you release to the burning bowl, you may repeat one of the following affirmations. Today, I lovingly and gracefully surrender and release what no longer serves. I release and let God do the work in this sacred experience. I am healed and renewed. I open my heart to love, and I am blessed with peace, joy, and harmony. And when you are finished, it is done, and it is so. Be gone. I now invite you to once again focus on your breath. And in a moment, we will take 3 more deep cleansing breaths. And on each in-breath, I invite you to begin withdrawing your roots. And on the exhale, continue to breathe out light. And with each in-breath, you will feel the room and the support of the chair holding you, and come fully back to this present moment. And let's take those breaths now. And on this last exhale, wiggle your fingers and toes, come back completely to this now moment in this space. And I would like to share just a few words about the process of transformation we have entered into. We are all collectively in a continuous process as we continue to release and visualize and set intentions for the new year. During this week, don't be surprised if additional items and forgiveness situations arise before next Sunday, you may need to repeat this ritual once or as many times as you feel necessary. And it's easy to adapt and do however it works for you in this time. This week, now that we have created this opening, you may begin to observe and experience a series of actions resulting in immediate transformation and change that may also extend and evolve over time. Embrace everything that comes up, all of it, without judgment. And I also invite you to pay close attention to your encounters and interactions with others within the next week and during your waking and meditation and in your dream time. For during this magical time of the thinner veil, you will be given signs, sacred symbols, and information that will assist you to begin creating the intentions to heal and transform what was released as you prepare to move more deeply into the new year. This next week is also a sacred and potent time to journal and to set your intentions for the new year. And if you don't journal consistently, this is a time that you may wish to begin journaling practice. Often guidance from Creator, God, Source, Universe, and your guides comes through the written word, or maybe even artwork or some other kind of tangible process. Even your doodles and your scribbles, so take note. If it is overwhelming or difficult for you to set intentions on your own, I encourage you to seek out groups that are gathering to set intentions, create vision or future boards. There is power in the group process, and as well as gaining support throughout the year as you journey into living your intentions. I also invite you to be gentle and easy with yourself this week. Offer yourself some additional self-care as you ease into the activities of the new year. Allow space and time to be out in nature and to relax and rest for reflection, meditation, eating healthy foods, and of course, staying hydrated. And of course, as your schedule allows. May your next week be filled with blessings, love, light, and insights. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Pamela. That was wonderful. And now I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
Yes, that was really beautiful. I took a photo of my bowl, so maybe I'll share that next week so everybody can see. That was very powerful. Thank you so much, Reverend Pamela. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us today. Please like our video and subscribe to the Unity of Fredericksburg YouTube channel so you can find us easily again next week. Our time together continues every week on Zoom with music, prayer, and interaction. And that is what we're going to be heading into next. And if you'd like to join us for the full experience every Sunday, just send an email to info@uofva.org to receive the Zoom link. Learn more and support our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation at our website, uofva.org.